Welcome to the Hair Loss Show. Dr. Russell Knudsen and Dr. Vikram Jayaprakash discuss issues relating to hair loss and the medical and surgical treatment of hair loss in both men and women.
Hi everyone, and welcome back to the Hair Loss Show. My name is Dr. Vikram Jayaprakash. Thanks again for watching. We're going to cover a bit more on derma-rolling today. And what I thought we'd do is we'd do a bit of Q&A on derma-rolling. And what I've done is we did a derma-rolling video a few months ago, and we had a whole bunch of comments and questions there. And so what I did was we went through that and picked out some of the questions that were asked a few times, which I thought would go through on a more visual basis and try and talk through that, and hopefully that answers questions for a lot more people. Again, thanks again for watching. Please remember to subscribe, and if you've got any other questions, leave them in the comment section below. So we'll just go through these one at a time. I've got them written down here. First question, derma-rolling on FUE extraction sites, is it helpful? I'm not convinced that it is going to be helpful. You've already caused micro injuries, or certainly slight injuries with the FUE punch, so there's going to be a great deal of blood flow, a great deal of growth factors that are flowing into that area. So in the short term, probably not. In the long term, or certainly a few weeks down the track, to try and improve the scarring from FUE. Well, again, it depends on the FUE punch size. Size does matter. If you've got a small enough punch size, again, it's going to be limited. The benefit's going to be limited. But if the punch size has been quite significant, say a 0.9, 0.95, or 1 millimeter punch, then maybe to try and help with minimizing the FUE scarring, it can be beneficial. But I don't, certainly in my practice, it's not something that I recommend as a standard of care to use derma-rolling on FUE extraction sites. All right, so that's the first question. Next one up, what is the right size needle to use? And that's the eternal question with derma-rolling, really, isn't it? And the answer is there is no answer. It depends on you as an individual. And the reason that I say that is because different people have different skin thickness, different dermal thickness, and that will impact the size of the needle. So the general feeling is that you should try a small needle and then gradually build up to what you can tolerate. I did read a comment, I hope this is not true. I did read a comment saying, oh, I'm using it and then blood is, wait till blood starts pouring down. Please, I hope that was a tongue-in-cheek comment. If you're doing derma-rolling and you are noticing spots of blood, I mean, small spots are probably okay, but if blood is trickling anywhere, then you're going too deep. So you want something, basically what you're trying to do is trying to stimulate the area. You're trying to promote blood flow. You're trying to promote growth factors coming into that localized area. So drawing blood is not the end point. A little bit of redness is probably a sign that you're in that at that right depth, but that depth will vary from person to person. And maybe it's, for some people, maybe it's as low as 0.5, and maybe for other people you have to go up to a 1 millimeter or even more. I think probably that's in the rare cases, but it is a personal thing as to what is right for you and what you can tolerate as well. All right. Next up, should you avoid derma-rolling if you have scalp psoriasis? Probably yes, okay, because scalp psoriasis is an inflammatory condition, and by derma-rolling you are causing an inflammatory process, and therefore you could potentially A, make it worse, or B, in an inflamed area. If you're derma-rolling, you're probably, and the risk is minimal, but you probably maybe increase the risk of a surface infection, a cellulitis. So I think if you've got scalp psoriasis, then probably not a great idea to use a derma-roller in that scenario. Can you use derma-roller with minoxidil? Yes, you can. So if you think about it, causing micro injuries, make little holes, and you apply minoxidil in that area, the absorption to the localized area is going to be greater. All right. That said, it can also cause a little bit more irritation. So you have to take it on a case-by-case basis, see if you can tolerate, but certainly using the derma roller, applying the minoxidil is fine. In fact, in some cases, people use derma-rolling with PRP as well. So they'll derma roll the area and then take blood, spin it down, get the platelet-rich component, and then rub it on that area, because the absorption is better. I think if you rub PRP on an area without doing any derma rolling or injecting it, I don't think it would be effective. But yes, you can use it with minoxidil. Next question. I've been using finasteride with good results, but side effects. Can derma-rolling replace finasteride? Probably not. Okay, I think if you were to compare the efficacy of derma-rolling with finasteride, you'd probably find that finasteride was streets ahead in terms of its ability to halt the progress of your hair loss and potentially thicken up the hair as well. So I think, with that question, it's not, you can certainly use both, that's fine. I don't think it's a fair comparison to compare finasteride to derma-rolling. I think you have to, take finasteride on its merits to see if that's something that agrees with you or you agree with it. If you're willing to take it, and if you don't have any problems, then that's probably really great. You can add derma-rolling onto that as well. But to say, oh look, I'm aggressively losing my hair, derma-rolling is going to stop that, I think that's probably a bit much in terms of expectations. This is the last question, and this was a comment that was made, and saying, it said, "You're wrong about derma-rolling not being able to regrow hair on slick bald areas. There's photo evidence on Reddit and Hair Loss Talk of derma-rolling doing exactly that, other than that good informative video." And I think that's great. I enjoy seeing pictures of people that have had these amazing results where they've been bald and then regrow hair. It has not been my experience. And I think, I speak to colleagues about it. It's generally, you hear stories about it, but they're few and far between. And I think it's important not to create that expectation that if you are aggressively losing your hair, and if you've lost the majority or a significant proportion of your hair, and you start derma-rolling, that it will grow back. I just don't see it on a regular basis. The other thing I have specifically with that point is that if we look at it from a cellular perspective, all right, if we look at androgenetic alopecia and we take histological slides of the skin in that area, we see a lot of different things going on. There's an inflammatory process to be sure, but also there is a reduction in the number of bulbs in that area, which means that there's nothing to stimulate to grow. So if there's nothing there, how can derma-rolling create a stem cell for that to grow into a hair? So I think maybe there's been some, in certain individuals that are losing hair, maybe there's a bit of loss and shedding, and there are dormant stem cells in that area, which you could potentially reactivate with derma-rolling. But if you look at what the histological criteria for a diagnosis of androgenetic alopecia, one of the criteria is that there's reduced number of bulbs in that area. So if there is a reduction in that, if there's a reduction in the number of bulbs, then there's nothing to stimulate to grow, and therefore there cannot be a hair. You cannot get something for nothing. So I don't want to, negate on the comment. I think it's possible, but in my experience, it's certainly not commonplace. And I think it's important not to create the expectation that if you're young and losing hair, and get on with the derma-rolling and it will solve all your problems. I have nothing against derma-rolling. I think it has its place, but it should be used correctly. All right. Thanks again for watching. Hopefully that answers a few of those questions. Please keep the questions coming. If you've enjoyed this, we can do some more of this Q&A, and we'll see you again soon. Take care. Bye-bye.